Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, SparStar Promotion brings you the Who's Next podcast. I'm your host, Anibal Rodriguez, and I have my right-hand man, Mr. Michael Gross, the Director of Operations for SparStar Promotions.
Good evening.
Welcome, brother. Today we have a very special guest. He is a top contender, a fighter for SparStar Promotions, coming off a win. He is reigning from 10th Planet in Thousand Oaks and Fight Science. Please help me welcome Thien Luu-Nguyen.
What's up, everybody?
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking to do some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or get self-defense, make sure to check out our sponsor, Logic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They are all around the Los Angeles area, the San Gabriel Valley. They're in Dubai and Brazil. They're all over the world. You can check out a free trial pass at logicjj.com. They have kids classes, adult classes, women's self-defense classes. It's a great place to learn some self-defense and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Please welcome to the Who's Next podcast. Welcome, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
Super good.
I'm doing
Awesome. So we're just coming off of Fight Night 56, a very exciting event. I had a great time. How about you guys?
Yeah, coming off that post-event high. I mean, and this guy is probably still going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always going crazy, man.
Quick public service announcement. After your fight in your interview, you had said, hit me up, Latinas and white girls.
Oh, my God. We know your type, bro.
Officially, ladies, his inbox is full. We have been overrun. Thousands of replies have been had. And so, just cool it for him for a second. He can't keep up at this point.
Yeah, he's a spicy guy. You know, I saw those moves, those hip moves.
Oh, yeah.
You came out to El Beeper. That was a perfect song for you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's in your people don't have iPhones anymore or CDs anymore. What's on your Spotify playlist right now?
Oh, bro, I got a whole playlist of just Latin music, you know.
That's your style?
Bachata, cumbia, salsa.
How'd you learn how to dance, man?
I took a class in college.
Really?
But before that, you're not going to believe this. I did a bunch of footwork drills playing football.
Yeah.
And I just noticed wow, I can actually kind of move.
So you learned how to dance from football drills.
Yeah. I didn't even realize I can dance until high school.
Yeah.
Because I went to I remember, what was it? I was working sales and one of my customers invited me to his family party.
Yeah.
I came by, I was like, oh, you know what, I'll support them, whatever. And they started dancing. They're like, oh, you gotta come on, you gotta. So I step up and I start moving, and they're like, wow, you can dance. I didn't even know I can dance. You know?
That's
I was
funny.
All right.
So was this a Mexican party, or what kind of music they playing?
It was a carne asada.
There we go. You know, he had his Corona in one hand, taco in the other one, and moving those hips.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, let's get into it, Mike. Let's go into the fight card for Fight Night 56. I want to do a recap of some of the fights, actually all of the fights that went down.
Sure.
Because we had some really, really great bangers for Fight Night 56.
Yeah, absolutely. We started the night with Jason Oldbrice over Mauricio Villanueva. A unanimous decision there for Jason. The second fight of the night was one of my favorites, Anthony Jimenez and Julian Hanna. We knew from a previous fight that Hanna loves to bang, but we had never seen Jimenez before, and it didn't disappoint. I thought Jimenez would have an advantage on the ground, which he did, but they were both throwing back and forth, and it was incredible. Yeah,
they were both throwing some bombs, throwing bones at each other. It was a really exciting fight, and it was a great way to start the show.
Yeah.
So Anthony Jimenez took that by unanimous decision.
That's right. And then this fight actually happened later, but it's number 3 here. Dylan Ludwig over Jeremy Banks.
Oh, that's right. I remember this one.
Both guys debuting for SparStar, and Dylan's a straight killer. Jeremy brought it, but Dylan is a mean striker, and he came out with the TKO win.
Yeah. I remember Jeremy's from Compton because he had the Compton tattoo on him, and he looked like he was going to destroy Dylan, but then Dylan was the one that took him out. I was kind of surprised. I thought he was going to win. Jeremy won just by seeing the fight.
Yeah, Dylan looks like a sweet kid. He probably is. Then we had Mia Delgado and
the girl fight.
Bianca Fernandez.
Oh, what a fight.
Yeah, and Mia came out with the win. I believe it was a submission.
Yeah, it was a TKO. Yeah.
And both girls brought it. Great fight. I don't know. There's some bad blood afterwards. I don't know if you could hear from your vantage point, but Mia was trying to tell her something afterwards. So
what was going on?
I don't know. Please comment if you have that information.
I think what happened was Bianca might have thought that the fight was not over. Could that have
well,
been
she
it?
definitely tried to say she wanted to keep going, but no, I think there was something else there. But we've got a lot of fun female fights coming up. So both these girls are going to be in the mix. Both, people we want to work with in the future. So that'll be awesome. That'll be fun going forward. I know you said you saw the next fight, Kiros versus Perez. That was a good, evenly matched fight. I think Kiros eventually had the edge in the striking. I don't know if that's what you saw as well.
Yeah, I 100% agree. They both look great. Chris took him down a couple times. Great grappling. There was a lot of back and forth. I think in the first round, Weston was attacking from the bottom.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's see what's up, But Chris is one of the 10 Planet guys, so I was rooting for him, obviously. But I mean, they both look great, man.
It was a really close fight.
Very close.
I even right at the end, when they were going to announce the winner, I was talking to all the other photographers. I was like, who do you guys think won? I was like, that was a really close fight. Everybody was kind of, somebody was going for one, somebody was going for the other. So it was a close fight. So I think, Weston just barely took that unanimous decision.
Yeah, it was close. Great fight, though. In the next one, I think you have this as your knockout of the night, and I tend to agree.
Yes, I definitely think this was the knockout of the night, and probably the best shit talker or speech of the night as well.
Yeah. I mean, and the young guns here, Kyle Pierce, 22 years old, against Ezekiel Ponce, 19, and Kyle just making his MMA debut. That guy was incredible. I think he really stole the show on a lot of levels. So I cannot wait till we see him again.
Yeah, man, I really love the whole team that comes with the den training when they get super pumped up. I always capture the Badger slap or whatever it's called when he slaps them right before their fight. It's super exciting, and I tell people that intensity is just yelling into their ears. And he brought a really cool aura about him when he was coming in. He has that star potential. Yeah. That you kind of oh, this guy, I'm gonna watch him to see how his career goes, because he has the skills plus he has the look. He kind of reminds you of a Logan Paul kind of vibe,
He does look
he has
like
that kind of look. And then when he got on the mic and he started talking, I was like, oh, this guy can talk, I even told Joey, the Bull, I was like, hey, man, I love those interviews when they're just going, because it gets the crowd going. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on Kyle Pierce. I think he has a good future for SparStar and, for his MMA career in general. So huge shout out to Kyle Pierce and the Den Training for taking the knockout of the night.
Yeah, and one more final note on Kyle is in his post-fight interview, he called out Miguel Valtierra, who's fought for us twice. They matched up in a point Muay Thai competition.
Really?
And I believe Miguel edged him out. So,
he wants that revenge.
Yeah, Kyle said he either wanted to go back to the lab and train for a couple months and just improve his skills, or if Miguel was available, he'll take that fight. So Miguel, let's do this, baby.
Miguel, someone's
November
calling you out.
25th.
Take
or
it.
January 6th.
Yeah. And, Kyle just gave himself a new nickname. He said you can call him Kyle Poppy Pierce now. So, Poppy Pierce, get ready, brother.
Love it. Fight number 7, Junior Fernandez versus Mike Medina. The interesting thing about this one is we lost Junior's opponent.
Really?
I don't remember what happened. They might have gotten sick, or they might have gotten scared or injured. Whatever happened, it happened. So we're scrambling to find an opponent. And the only one we could get was 19-year-old Mike Medina from probably not Sacramento, but somewhere up there.
Up north or in the middle of California.
Exactly. And he's like, yeah, I'll drive down and take that fight. Yeah. Like, okay. So all the props to Mike. And if you saw the fight, he survived the nastiest armbar in the human history.
I thought he broke his arm.
That was the fight.
He probably did.
I thought he broke his arm. And I'm sorry, what's the name of the judge? I'm sorry, the judge that was in that fight. He's very popular.
Beltran.
Beltran, yeah. So he's a really, really good ref. So I kind of trusted that he knew what he was doing. But from my vantage point, and I was like looking right at his arm, that I don't know how he didn't tap. You know, so I give him the most respect, and he's a warrior, because I would have tapped as soon as they grabbed my arm. I'm like,
Exactly. I was told from the back, they were like, dude, that guy's arm was split.
Yeah, it looked like it broke, and then he twisted it. Like it looked bad, but he kept on punching with it. He kept on fighting with it, even after he came back on the next round. So I was very surprised that he wasn't in agony with just with the arm.
I'll say this: we have a guy. He wants to fight soon, Derek. He has a very similar trait. I've armbarred him a bunch.
Yeah.
Unless I want to break in half.
Yeah.
It's very hard to tap him. Like I see like almost like the bone popping out.
My God. He could be, he could be double jointed, There's people that are like that are extremely flexible, and, they don't break easily. Yeah. Some of the Gracies, like they have that where you can do all kinds of crazy stuff to it. Look, he's like, nah.
I think the Gracies just want to eat it. They just got that dog in them.
That's probably it too. Their bones did break.
Break it if you want.
Yeah, they just don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you got to kill me.
Yeah, but that was a submission win by Adelson Jr., right?
Yes, and we didn't even talk about Junior here. That guy's a phenom. Apparently, he's won worlds at purple belt.
Really?
So and he's just working on the MMA game. So that's another guy who made a big splash at this event, and looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, definitely going to keep an eye out on him. That was his debut as well.
Yeah, maybe a future opponent for the man across from me.
Oh,
today. We'll see.
All right, whose arm will break?
I'm not a matchmaker.
I have one of the best armbar defense in the world.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Bring it, brother.
Perfect. Moving on to number 8. Guy we know very well, Cameron Farda versus Colin Lotterbach. Colin, we've seen, I think this is his 3rd SparStar fight, but it's been a while. And he's a great jiu-jitsu player, but so is Cameron. And Cameron came out and got the W. His striking looked better than I've seen in the past, and I'm really excited to see him take his game to the next level.
Yeah, I remember seeing him fight before. I can't remember which fight night it was, and I definitely saw some improvement in his striking and his grappling as well. And that was a really exciting fight, and he took that submission win. So congratulations, Cameron, on your submission win.
Yep. And fight 9, another extremely exciting bout.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Luu-Nguyen versus George Arellano. And Arellano's a guy I love to watch fight. He had his debut for us almost a year ago, and it just one of the best bangers I've ever seen. Knocked the guy clean out. It was incredible. He brought that same energy to this fight.
Yeah.
But he was matched and then overmatched. So, I mean, take it away. What did you think about the fight?
No, I mean, I want to credit him. He did a great job. He stunned me a little bit. I was like, okay, that was pretty good. He got me in a couple.
What
did
he catch
hits.
you with?
I think he got me with a 1-2, pretty solid. I made a mistake. I slipped to my left and I got hit. Boom! And I'm like, damn, that was good. So, but I'm pretty resilient. I'm pretty durable. But man, I'm all props to him for taking the fight. I'd be scared to fight me. So I definitely appreciate him for taking the fight. I appreciate him stepping in the cage and giving it his all. That guy would not go out.
Yeah,
I was hitting him with the kitchen sink. Next thing was someone threw in the knife or something, bro. That guy was not going out. I kept hitting him, and again, props to him. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for taking the fight.
Yeah, it was a super exciting fight, and my favorite part of the whole fight was your intro, to be honest. That Baile del Beeper intro just got me. You know what? Everybody was dancing, bro. You probably couldn't see it because you were walking and you were in your own world, but everyone was dancing. All the ring girls were dancing. Everybody in the crowd was dancing. Everybody was up on their feet. The energy was like really, really high. I was dancing, and I'm not even a good dancer.
Let's go. That's what I want. I think at the end of the day, like, you're a fighter, you're an entertainer.
That's it.
You entertain from the beginning to the end, man.
Yeah.
Interview, whatever, you entertain.
For sure.
So I love it. Thank you guys for dancing. Whoever joined in, whoever was doing it mentally, whatever. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
That's it, man.
Nice. And we'll talk more about that fight later because, we want to learn a lot about my friend here. The next fight, Riley Beeson and Goran Rescala. This one turned out to be a bit of a mismatch, and all respect to Goran for stepping up on last-minute notice. Riley lost about 3 or 4 opponents through this setup because he's a badass. And no one wanted to fight him. Anyways, Rescala stepped up at the last minute, took the fight, went out on his shield. He got beat up, and so it was a first-round stoppage. But it saved the fight, so much respect.
That's one thing that I wanted to touch on what he just said is respect to anyone that has the courage to step inside of a cage and get punched in the face, kicked in the face, get their arm pulled, get choked out. Like, people don't know that, you're getting injured. Even if you win, you're going to get hit, or someone's going to hit you unless you're, Thien over here who's a master.
I get prettier.
So anybody that's on this card, huge respect to you guys, and looking forward to the growth, because that's the point of fighting. You get better and you get better, so that's the goal anyways.
Yep, absolutely. And then in the co-main event of the evening, which I think everyone pretty much agrees was the fight of the night.
Yes, sir.
We had Marino Napuri and Gregory Tomas.
What a fight, man.
Yes.
Oh my God. 2
high-level guys. They're about ready to go pro, and Greg is a phenomenal grappler, a great stand-up as well.
Yeah.
And Marino is just, for my money, the meanest striker we have in SparStar.
Yeah, he just punches with
intent.
with intensity. It's like his kicks are just like, wow. You can hear them. I love that type of intensity when a fighter comes in,
Yeah.
He has like that ferocity behind his punches.
Yeah, so he's a very smiley guy in regular life, but he's throwing everything.
Oh, he was smiling in there too. Every time he got hit,
that's true.
He would smile. Every time they would hit him, he would smile and be like, "Let's go."
Yeah, that guy's got charisma for days. So congratulations to Marino for coming out with the decision victory. It was very close, but he came out on top, and much respect to Greg as well. Great fight.
Yeah, you could tell that Greg was disappointed to not take that win, because I think the main thing is that they both gave it their all.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a good fight. And I agree, this was the fight of the night. So first off, congratulations to Marino and to Greg for taking the fight of the night and getting everybody excited. Yep. And I think what makes a great fight is when the fighters themselves lay it all on the line. They're not scared. They're not holding back. They're not hesitant. They're just going for it. They're going for the win. And they both wanted to win. You could see it.
Well, they both believed they were going to win.
Yeah,
too.
that
they
too.
Were going for
That's
it.
why I saw the disappointment in Greg's eyes, because he in his vision, he saw himself winning. I could already see it in his eyes. So when it was like that close of a decision, the disappointment's a lot harder. So I'm really excited to see him come back, because man, in my life, the greatest victories that I have come right after some really bad disappointments, know? So I saw the disappointment in his eyes, so I'm ready to see the fire in the next fight. And Marino, man, that dude is a striker. I'm really excited to just see him fight, because, he has a lot of cool tricks in his bag. So that was my fight of the night.
Yep. And then finally we had the main event, which didn't disappoint either. Had our boy Lil Bill and
Gator.
Jaguar Paw. I mean, both these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. Maybe it was because I'm close to both of them. I felt like it was super tense. Maybe it was just because it was a close fight, but
yeah, I felt it.
You had Jordan shooting for takedowns. Chris even hit a takedown, and they were going back and forth on the feet.
Yeah, Chris was landing a lot of jabs too. Mm-hmm. He had a beautiful jab that was setting it up, and Jordan had a lot of takedowns as well. But Chris kind of called it on the last podcast. He said exactly what happened. I was kind of surprised, because he said he was going to take the decision. It was going to go to a decision. And, when you asked him, how are you going to defend against those takedowns? He kind of hinted at what he was going to do. And he did that very same thing.
Yeah, he said he's going to be good at getting back up. And he's going to take the center of the cage and use that jab. And then, he had other stuff he wasn't going to mention.
Yeah.
But he got the job done. It was a close decision, but
it was very close. I had some people telling me that they thought Jordan won.
Yeah.
Quite a few people told me, they thought Jordan won, but it was a very, very close decision. And I personally think Chris did deserve that win.
Yeah. I can never judge when it's so close, and I'm so close to it, because I get my emotions get involved, and I'm not sure. But I mean, well deserved for Chris, and we can't wait to have him fight to unify.
Oh yeah.
The belt
so right
in
now,
November.
Chris Martinez is he's holding the interim belt. So we're going to be having him fight Danny Martinez. So it's going to be the who is the best Martinez,
That's right.
SparStar.
The Global Martinez Championship.
That's it. And they're actually fighting for the state belt as well.
Yes.
So it's going to be the SparStar Bantamweight belt and the California state belt as well. That's going to be a super exciting fight. You guys make sure to stay tuned for that. We're going to be having the sit-down show with myself so we can kind of hear these guys. Because right after the fight, we had Danny come on stage, and they had a little face-off, and that was heated, man.
It was good energy there.
Because those two guys hate each other. They do not like each other. And if it would have been Jordan and Danny, they would have been cordial to each other. But because it was Chris who won, they were just both talking shit, you know. And I think they both have something to prove, because to be honest, I feel like they both come in with that underdog mentality where I'm going to prove to you guys, Chris was running all over that cage at the end, telling everybody, like, I proved you guys wrong. I told you. Nobody believed in me. You all doubted me, and I told you.
Win.
He was excited. He's like, man, I fucking told you guys. Like, you don't believe in me. And a lot of people didn't, because of his record. And he talked about that on the podcast of, starting his career in MMA with like no background, had like a month or two in doing BJJ, and he got beat up. So because of his record, people don't give him the props that he believes he deserves.
Yeah.
And same thing with Danny when he was fighting, I forgot his name.
Michael Santiago.
A lot of people didn't believe in him. They didn't believe he could take that win. So they both have that energy. So I'm really excited for that fight, and that sit down.
That's going to be incredible.
Yes, sir. So that was the event. It was awesome. Guys, make sure that you check out the fights on SparStar YouTube channel. You can check out all of the fights there. Make sure you guys subscribe. Every subscription matters. Like, comment, all that good stuff. But now I really want to get into our guest story today. So it was your debut MMA fight with SparStar. Tell us a little bit about your training up to this fight and how everything went in the fight, and just tell us a little about yourself as well.
So I started training MMA roughly end of July. So I want to say like August. I had like a subversive event, jiu-jitsu event, did that. Then I wanted to start MMA training. Been hungry for it, been wanting to do it for a while. So started doing it. I think within the week, to be fair, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for like 3 years. So I asked Coach Ian at Fight Signs, hey, can you get me a fight? And I think there was a card on the 27th of that month. I don't know the promotion. I forgot. Sorry.
Don't
be sorry. There's only one promotion here.
Exactly. But we tried to get a fight in that card. Didn't go through, unfortunately. I don't know. I think someone pulled out or something. And then we tried to get another one on the 14th, pulled out. We had another one on, it was the 25th, right, or something, 27?
Yeah.
Pulled out. And then after that, pulled out.
Jesus.
And then finally, I think he reached
pull-out
out.
game is strong, bro.
Yeah, for them, I guess, But then I think he reached out to you, and then we fortunately got a fight again. Thank you, George. And that went through, and, we're here. The whole training camp, I did watch his tape. I saw that, he was going to hit hard. I knew that he was going to hit hard. I knew he wanted to brawl.
Yeah.
I knew that, coming in that he would have an advantage on the feet. But I also knew that I trusted in myself, and I know that I can strike a little bit. I think ultimately I did win the round.
Yeah.
But not as I would like to. But the whole training training camp, we did work a lot of timing on them, timing his shots to get the takedown, all that, right? Up until probably the day of, man. Let me tell you, for some reason with weight cutting, I cannot sleep.
Really?
And so Friday night, right? Saturday. So Friday night, I did not sleep all night. Like, did not sleep at all.
For SparStar, when do you guys do the weigh-ins? Is it the day before?
Day of.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
damn, so you just no sleep at all?
No sleep. Went
dehydrated.
I went to go cut weight, and that morning, shout out to Anthony Cadell for helping me film all that. We did the weight cut. We went to SparStar to weigh in. afterward, I kind of slept, but like semi.
Like a little nap.
It was like maybe like a 20-minute nap.
Yeah.
And then we came back to the venue, and I literally just the whole time just laying down and trying to sleep, couldn't sleep. I think I just wanted to fight so bad.
Yeah. It was probably a combination of the anticipation, the excitement.
Yeah, I did.
And
like
cutting weight as well, you know?
The weight cut didn't really affect me that much. It was just more like I just wanted to fight so bad.
Yeah.
My training partner, Daniel Park, he's pro now. Shout out to him.
SparStar veteran.
Yeah. Yep. He was holding pads for me, and after we were talking, like we talked this morning, he was like, dude, yeah, I could see why you couldn't sleep. Because like you look like you were ready. Like you wanted to fight. Like you were like,
let's go.
Yeah. So there was something within me that radiated in the room that day. So, but you know, when we started the fight, when I stood up, I got him with some good shot. I think I landed like a hard head kick, couple of, you know, strikes, but overall, I don't think I did like too well. It was just more, I think I allowed the crowd a little bit to get to me.
How so?
I think I just wanted to make it fun for you guys, man. Okay. You know, I wanted to knock them out, you know.
So you weren't worried about the crowd. It was more like you wanted to put on a show for
I wanted to put on a show, you know.
Because so you were willing to risk a little bit because of that?
Oh, 100%. I was like, I got hit a couple times. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, and I just like, you know, I'm not going to cuss. So just put my head down. Let's go, you know. And then, sorry, go ahead.
Well, it did seem like to me anyways, in the first round, you were more striking focused. Like you weren't even thinking about the takedown. And then I assume your corner's like, hey, maybe think about a takedown. And then, I'll let you
so I got a story for that too. But I want to thank the people for joining in on my walkout.
Oh,
because that, I swear to you, man, I've never felt like that before. I walked out, just felt amazing. I just felt the crowd. I felt everything. And it was just like, I looked at the lights and I was like,
did you do a handstand to a roll?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I was just
and then from the roll to a wah, and then a hip thrust. I remember the moves, bro.
I didn't get to see this.
I'm gonna copy that the next time I go to the club.
You gotta rewatch.
I will.
Rewatch the fight.
Next time I walk into a club, I'm gonna enter like that. I'm gonna do the little handstand roll, and then do the little.
There you go.
It was really cool.
I want to compare yours side by side. So it's more graceful.
Mine's not gonna look that graceful, you know.
No, but I looked into the lights, man. And I was like, this is where I belong. Like I felt like home, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, so end of the first round, you know, I got hit with a couple. I hit him, he hit me. And as they're walking in, I'm like, let me look for a chair to sit, you know, because I just thought that's what people do. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
But my coach, Coach Ben, he walked in with a blue stool. And I remember like, I see the stool and I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down. And as he walks across, we make like eye contact. Like very brief. He didn't, you know, he probably didn't even notice it. And I swear I looked at his eyes and I was like, yeah, got it. I know what to do. And then probably at the end of that, he was like, hey, you know, you got to take him down, right? And I was like, all right, you know.
Fine.
Yeah, but I knew right there and then. I was like, all right, we started second round. We got to look for it. I looked for it, got him down. And that was kind of it, you know, like the rest of the round, I kind of kept looking for the takedowns. And when I did, I looked to, you know, just ground and pound. I definitely was, you know, doing whatever I could to look for the finish. I think at the end of the second round, I jumped for an arm bar. I knew there was like 10 seconds left, so I didn't care. I was like, you know what, I'm just go for it, see what's up.
Yeah.
Just to rack up the points too. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to critique myself here. I was not impressed with my jiu-jitsu. I'm definitely very disappointed in my jiu-jitsu. I think there's another level to it. The next fight, I think you guys will see another level of striking and another level of jiu-jitsu.
You might not even get to show the jiu-jitsu if the striking goes really well.
That is true. That is true. He called it.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know who the opponent is yet.
Yeah.
But I thought the fight was really interesting, and I'm totally losing my train of thought here. So somebody else is going to have to.
Yeah, I have a question.
I have a specific thing.
So going into the third round, did you feel you had the fight in the bag, or were you worried, or what were your thoughts? You know, because it's different being in a fight from being outside and observing a fight, and sometimes, you know, you can feel something different than what other people can see on the outside. So I'm curious in knowing what was going on in your internal thoughts as far as how the fight was going? Were you like, oh, it's going great, or like, nah, I need to do something different, or what was going through your mind on the third round?
You know, unless the guy's out cold, I didn't win. So for me, I was like, I got to put him out. Like that was it. Going in the third round, I didn't care how. I needed to put him out. Yeah. So, you know, again, I knew that the grappling was winning for me. And I knew that if I get to certain positions, that I was going to dominate him. So I knew if I can take him down, get to my position, it would be a bad day for George. And, you know, I got to there, and unfortunately it was just too close to the end of the round. Yeah. I'd argue maybe we had another 10 seconds, but who knows, right? Who knows?
He's a gamer too.
Yeah, and he's, dude, like I said in the beginning, man, I was trying to hit him with the kitchen sink, and the homeboy did not want to go out. You know, he was just eating it. He was ready. He just kept going and going and going. Yeah. I mean, dude, I landed someone took a picture. I landed like a head kick right on his head.
Yeah, it was just like the picture's like.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was a little bit bugged by it. You know, he was probably a little bit rocked or something.
Yeah. Did you get rocked at all? Did he get you good? Where you?
It was more like a surprise because I got like, you know, I was like, oh, like I'm good. You know, I'm moving on, all good, and then boom, like. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is a fight. Yeah. So I think a lot of a lot of the bad striking part was more because it's new to me, it's a new experience. Yeah. So for me now going into the next fight, I'm like, okay, I know it's a fight. I know I'm gonna get hit. I know it's gonna be this way, and you know, so I can
experience. That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
And you didn't look like a jiu-jitsu guy trying to strike in there. Like you look like an MMA fighter. I see a lot of jiu-jitsu guys come over and they want to go get some work on their stand-up. Like that's the game plan going in. But a lot of times they get hit once and their jiu-jitsu takes over. You know, like it's muscle memory. You know, they can't even help it, and they go sub the guy real quick. And it felt like for you were more in control of that. Is that something you focus on?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely wanted to work my striking too. I had some stuff planned for the fight because I made the read off of George. I watched the tape, and I made a couple reads that I was like, okay, I can probably drop him here. I can probably drop him here. Yeah. But ultimately, I didn't execute the game plan. So that's, you know, it is what it is.
So prior to your fight, do you do this for all of your fights where you analyze the person and create a game plan, or do you kind of just go in there and rely on your skills?
No, always, man. You know, I think a lot of people look at fighting as just like a brute sport. For me, it's not. It's all cerebral for me. So I break people down. I look at everything they do. I would even look at them and see how they think. I would feel how they feel in that moment, and I can kind of tell where their tail is, right? Like, you know, some guys I can tell that, oh, he just wanna finish right now, right? Like he's just going, right? Yeah. Some guys like, oh, they're very strategic. I gotta be careful. So I can literally feel their emotions.
Yeah, it's called fight IQ. You know, you can, or fight EQ. You know, you can feel what they're going through, and that takes a lot of experience to be able to do that. It's not common in amateur fighters that they do that because they don't have experience, so they're learning it as they're doing it. You know, but it sounds like you're coming into your fighting career with a high level of IQ and EQ when it comes to controlling both your emotions and the opponent's emotions. Because what you're saying is very, very smart. What you can do is you can cause your opponent to gas themselves out, you know, if you know how to move their emotions in a certain way. Because if you're trying to throw the kitchen sink at one point your energy reserve is going to go out, you know.
Exactly.
And if you know what you're doing and you're staying in control, that's a dangerous fighter, someone that knows exactly what they're doing instead of just relying on, you know, muscle memory or relying on drills that they learn from their camp. It's more of actually moving the way that you want to move and making your opponent move the way that you want to move based off of your skills.
Yeah, I mean, these are all lessons I've learned from whether it's competing in jiu-jitsu in the past, right? I guess a lot of people don't know this. Actually, I'm not going to say this. I'm going to keep it low-key.
Okay.
But
keep the secret, bro.
No, I just did a lot. You know, I competed and I just learned a lot from it, right? Like I see, you know, I've definitely like even made some guys just quit before the match started. So I've literally given them certain looks, whatever. Yeah. I can tell, I can kind of feel it in the air that you're breaking, and I'll just win the match before the match even started. Dang. But, you know, obviously this is not the case with this fight. Yeah. But I definitely break everything down. Like I see every little movement. I see where their weakness is. You know, there's a lot of times too, like guys don't realize the whole, like fighting, there's like 4 different dimensions and they're playing like 2 dimensions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'll give you an example. Is like, you know, some guys would just strike and then their thing is just in and out. Like, let me just go in and out, right?
Yeah.
My fight suggests that, right? Like I lose just in and out. But there was also other dimensions I had to explore. There's also sideways. There's
lateral
up and
movements.
down.
Yeah.
There's 3 dimensions to the striking.
Yeah.
Right. The 4th dimension is being now the other parts of the game, right? Like whether it is the cage, the ground, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, again, they look at the sport because, you know, of the punches, the kicks, and the elbows, and all these things. They look at it as like it's a brute thing.
Yeah.
It's really not, man. If you look at the highest level people, it's all here.
Yeah.
You know, like they see everything, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't be an Adesanya, Usman, a Strickland by being an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be very smart, very calculated.
Yeah.
You know, they see everything. So they're making adjustment on the go. I'm not to that level yet, and I know where I need to go. I know I need what to. I know what I need to do, and trust me, I'm like I told you guys earlier, like I am aching to get back in there.
Awesome, man.
We're going to do it.
You're getting me excited, bro. I want to fight now.
That's what I try to do.
I apologize because I might blow up your spot here, what you're trying to hide. But I was talking to Ian backstage, and he said, like, you said 3 years of jiu-jitsu? You've trained. He said you're not just a 3-year student of jiu-jitsu, that there's a phenom thing about what you do. Like, you're not normal.
Yeah, I don't
explain that.
Yeah. So again, it's very similar to what I said about breaking down my opponents, right? Like, I don't look just at the fighting scientifically. I look at every part of it. So my sleep, the way I eat, the way I train, the way I think, the way everything is broken down, and you know,
It's your process.
yeah, the whole process.
Do
right?
you have a job? Like, is this what you do?
So fortunately for me, I literally just like do privates and that's it. So for me, I'm like hooked up on that sense. I have a great family that helps me out, right? So all credit to them too. They don't really know I fight. So just keep that low
He's
key.
in school.
Yeah, I'm in school right now. So you know what I mean?
He's interning. Just say you're interning at a fight camp.
Exactly. That's why I tell them I'm interning for
For
SparStar.
10th Planet business.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like everything I do is just tailored around all that, right? I train all day. I focus on every little aspect of it. I make sure that I can train all day. And if I can't, I'll show up just to watch, right? Like some people are like, oh, I'm injured. Oh, I'm tired. Let me just stay home and rest. I'm like, no, bro, show up.
Yeah.
Watch.
You can learn from watching.
Dude.
I can't remember this pro fighter that he would go to the events and he would pretend that he was fighting. So I can't remember who it is, but you would see him like he's fighting the other person. Like he would like do what he was supposed to do. So he would literally mentally be fighting while not actually be fighting. So you could learn from watching a lot.
No, 100%, man. Even like you think like, oh, I have to watch high level jiu-jitsu. No. Sometimes like you see 2 new guys rolling and they're going crazy. Guess what? In a fight, that's what's going to happen. Some guy going crazy in a fight, you think that's not going to happen? You do something, he's going to go crazy, right? So you might find some little entry or some little whatever, you know? So for me, that's like I said, you know, it's the whole process. So my 3 years of experience to some people is like 15 years. I'll be honest with you. I can talk. So, and I say this because I've talked to people that have been training for 15, 20 years. I'm like, bro, you don't understand anything. I'm talking to them about jiu-jitsu. I'm like, you don't understand the mechanics of these moves. You're literally just like, you're just using like brute.
Yeah.
Like it just shocks me, you know?
It's crazy.
But to be fair, I have great coaches. Like, amazing coaches.
Who are your coaches again?
So my 2 grappling coaches are Eric Ramey and Coach Ben Zwang. I'm going to butcher his name there. Sorry. At School BJJ. Eric Ramey at 10 Planet Thousand Oaks. Also, we're grand opening November 4th. Come out.
Where's it going to be?
It's going to be in Thousand Oaks. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
This
Guys,
Saturday.
if you're in the
No, November 4th. November
nice.
4th.
Guys, if you are in the Thousand Oaks area, go check out. This is 10th Planet. 10th Planet Thousand Oaks opening up November. What was that again?
November 4th.
November 4th.
Yeah. So, those are my two grappling coaches. Right now, Coach Ian is my striking coach. We work a lot. I also work with Daniel. He's the pro and like you said, a veteran at SparStar.
Yeah.
He works with me a lot on the side, and we play spar a lot, and we work a lot of stuff. So, we approach this in a very, I keep using this word, but scientific manner. It's not a, let's just.
It's very cerebral.
Yeah, it's not just, let's just throw stuff in there and mix it together and hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
It's like, this is good, this is bad. You know what? This is good, but this is more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good, but this is more effective.
You're reminding me of this girl that I interviewed maybe about 8 months ago. Her name's Elena.
I remind you of a girl?
No, well, she's a top jiu-jitsu. She's a top jiu-jitsu phenom, just like you. Her name's Elena Kravar.
I identify as a girl.
You identify?
No, I know who Elena. I know Elena is. Yeah, she trained with John Danner.
Yeah, so everything you're saying reminds me of kind of their camp. They're like almost like surgeons, super, super high level BJJ where like it's on a whole nother plane. So everything you're saying is kind of reminding me when I interviewed her, how she her thought process is when it comes to jiu-jitsu. It's not just a brute force. It's it's a science, it's a science and an art form. So that's what's beautiful about the sport is that it constantly evolves and it gets better and better. Like, man, there's little kids right now doing shit that like didn't even exist 10 years ago, like, damn. So I'm really excited to see your career blossom. And what are your goals, man? What do you plan on doing with all these skills? Do you plan on going pro? Do you plan on what do you want to do with this?
Well, of course, I just want to be the best in the world, man. So I'm just working to improve myself. That's it. Wherever that takes me, takes me. Obviously, everyone knows the UFC is the way to go when it comes to MMA.
Yeah.
That's definitely a goal of mine, but the ultimate goal for me is just to improve every time I get on there.
Awesome.
Right? So that's really it.
Where do you see yourself stacking up within SparStar? Like, are you, with this win, are you, in your background, are you already in title contention? Or what do you, 2 more fights, 1 more fight? Are you ready? Like what?
Yeah, no, I think I need to fix that problem, like I mentioned before, with the striking aspect. Mm-hmm. Once I fix that, let's get a title fight going, baby.
Okay.
Let's go. All right.
Give me that belt.
And speaking of your striking, you were a jiu-jitsu guy and you've added striking recently. So what, you've been training for what, like a year, 6 months?
Yeah, so I trained striking like for, I want to say for sure less than a year, but I remember I started jiu-jitsu in December of 2020. I did a little bit before that in the gi. And then when I started no-gi jiu-jitsu in December, I was also training Muay Thai until like maybe, I want to say April. I think it was like April or March, because it was my birthday present to myself to train with.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a birthday present to myself to train with the all great Eddie Bravo.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I started going out there to train with him, and then that's when I stopped training Muay Thai, because I was like, oh, you know what? I really like this jiu-jitsu thing. And then after that, it was just all jiu-jitsu for me. Yeah. And then I started doing ADCC trials and all these things. I was all right. I could have done better. There was a lot of stuff I needed to fix. But ultimately, yeah, I did like roughly that span of time of striking. And then I kind of just play around, or like, sometimes I'll just play spar with some guy at like jiu-jitsu practice or something.
Yeah.
But that's really it,
Nice.
But I will say my talent is that I can process information very quickly. I can do it for jiu-jitsu now because I just have a lot of awareness in my body and a lot of skills. But with striking, I'm still developing that. Mm-hmm. Once I develop that level of skills, I can literally just watch a combo or see the way they move and just, that's it.
It's your learning curve is very, very steep. you know?
And then it's credit to, again, the people I train with and our approach.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that leads into our next segment of the show, which is who's next?
Who is next?
Who is next? You know, because the goal with any amateur promotion, especially SparStar, is to develop the talent within there to get them to the next level. You know, and every fight you take is doing exactly that, either getting closer to your goals and dreams or not. You know, so who's next? I'll let you open this one up with your picks and maybe somebody from this card as well that we just had on Fight Night 56.
Yeah. I'll stick to this card since we're coming off it, and I'm going to take an easy one. So sorry, guys.
Go for it.
Chris Martinez just won the 135-pound title. That guy, I think if he unifies the belt in November, there's no reason why he shouldn't be next.
Yeah.
And of course, Jordan hasn't lost any standing in our eyes. So
yeah,
he's right there as well.
Yeah. Myself, I think Mourinho Napuri is my who's next winner for this show. I think he put on a really good performance, and I think he has what it takes to go pro.
Yeah, 100%.
And Mr. Thien, who do you choose?
The man in the mirror.
Oh, Michael Jackson? I'm just kidding.
I will practice to dance like him.
Yeah.
I will walk out to one of his songs soon.
Oh, yeah. And I remember at the end of the fight when they give you that microphone, you told the crowd your name and told them to remember it.
They better
remember it. You know what? I definitely going to remember your name because I'm seeing a lot of potential. Because sometimes you can see a fighter, but until you talk to them and see their mindset, you can kind of separate, you know, what makes someone great. And the mindset that you have is what it takes to be a great fighter, if not the best fighter. It's both the skill, but the mindset, you know, and you have that championship mindset. So I'm excited to see your career blossom. And I do believe in the near future, you will go pro. So I want to thank you, you know, for coming on the show, sharing your story, telling us a little about, you know, your fight on this last event. And that leads us to the next part, which is Fight Night 57. Maybe we can have you there if we get you someone that.
Oh man. Yeah, we would absolutely love to have you. Got a few matchups in mind, and I know Heather's working on a few things. So,
okay.
You know, obviously that's under wraps right now, but we'll be in communication with you immediately.
Awesome. So we're going to be having SparStar Fight Night 57. What day is that again?
November 25th. It's going to be sick. We've got the 145-pound state and SparStar title. That's Dylan Morales, who you all know already.
Oh, yeah.
He's taking on Hamzi Trod. I apologize if I'm messing up your name, bro. And we've also got the 135-pound unification belt, the Global Martinez Championship, Danny Martinez and Chris Martinez. It's going to be sick. And, I mean, there's a whole stat card, but I'll give you one more. The strawweight women's title.
Awesome.
Yes.
3 title fights?
At least 3. Yes.
There might be more. Stay tuned.
Mackenzie Jade and Angel. Why am I drawing a blank on her last name? Anyways, she'll be there, and it'll be sick.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to show up and be a part of the show, and I can't wait for the sit down with the contenders. Guys, make sure that you pre-purchase your ticket to SparStar 57 at sspmma.com. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Stay tuned for the next show, and we'll see you guys next time.